Up next on Inside ChampCar, an Autobahn debrief. Welcome to Inside ChampCar. Brian Bielanski and my fearless leader, Bill Strong. I'm going to get it out of the way right now. Opel MR2.
There you go. Everybody loses.
How we doing, my friend?
Good, man. Speaking of MR2s, we were at Autobahn this weekend. There was a red MR2. It was one of those, I don't know. I don't really like them. It was kind of Honda powered. There's some on the internet that think that's the be-all, end-all of MR2s being Honda powered.
Okay.
I think it's like putting a Ford in a Chevy or a Chevy in a Ford. You know, it's just wrong. That's just me. I mean, it could just be me. But there's many others that think that.
You're never wrong, Bill. You're sometimes mistaken.
Mistaken. There I go. So, yeah, they were doing okay in the race in typical MR2 fashion. How's that country song go? Loose wheel, I don't know, but yeah, they lost a wheel.
Uh-oh, you picked a fine time to leave me loose wheel?
That's the one. Yes. Yeah. And of course, you know, everybody in the tower looks at me and it's, you know, yeah, I didn't know what to do. Didn't know what to say, other than the MR2 lost a wheel. But yeah, typical. It happens.
Of course.
Yeah. All the time. But yeah, they were doing well. Then that happened. But yeah, it was a great weekend, man. It started out hot.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to say I knew that it was hot because, you know, I work in the tower. Unfortunately, it's nice and cool up there.
Yeah.
But yep, Kelly, me, and Andy were up there. Andy was running the race this weekend. Nice to see him back up in the tower.
Nice.
And we had a pretty good weekend, man. We had a couple of red flags. 2 of them were for lunches. You know, at that track, their requirement is to have, you know, feed their folks, let them out of the hot, you know, the hot conditions they have. But let me tell you, we set up Flagtronics Thursday night, and I discovered that the flaggers all have little swamp coolers in their flag stands. And I turned one on, and it's like, zzz, you know, blowing nice, cool air. And then it got really cold, and it's like, oh, my God, these are awesome.
Yeah.
I need one at the tower. Yeah, it was pretty nice. But yeah, we had a red flag for the lunch. And we had a really bad wreck. You know, this little guy here, that little car.
Oh, no. Please say no.
Yeah. Miata spun in front of him. He had nowhere to go, and bam, crushed the nose up to the firewall. So pretty big wreck. Everybody's okay. But yeah, that was sucked. It happened right in front of the tower. We saw it all. But yeah, they'll be back. They also had a Corvette out that, you know, this weekend too, just testing.
Right.
Friday. That was pretty fun to watch. But yeah, Two Brothers Racing took the Saturday win. That was what do they call that when it's like super close and, you know,
a photo finish?
Almost, man.
Yeah.
JSK. Yeah, I forget who it was. I think it might have been JSK was leading the race. Or no. There's Nosy and Mazda was leading the race. And they ended up running out of gas on the final corner.
Okay.
And Two Brothers Racing passed them, and they could not make it to the finish line. They ended up finishing second place. JSK and their Nissan Altima in third. Lots of Nissans at this event, by the way. Track car rental BMW finished fourth. When's the last time we saw a BMW finish so far back? They're usually up front, aren't they?
Fourth is not that far back.
It's way back. That was 5 laps back, man. 7 laps from the leader. So, yeah, they finished pretty back there. Parts Badger set the FTD Saturday with a 136.764. They did pretty well. That car was quick. They had a couple of issues with that car, but they would fix the next day. Where are we? Daring Greatly Cadillac. We had a camera in that for some of the weekend there. That was a fun car to watch. That car is getting faster and faster and faster. And I hear the reason it's getting faster and faster and faster because they keep taking parts off of it, you know, reducing the weight, making it more reliable, things like that. And TR Motorsports, the tire rack guys, they showed up with their 4-cylinder BMW. Still did pretty darn well. 7th place overall. Milan and their Miata showed up as well, and they traveled the distance to get there, but they finished 8th place, top 10 car. British American Racing. It's always cool to see these guys at a track. They've been racing with us since time began.
Wow, that's a long time ago.
It's a long time ago. I remember racing them way back in the day.
Was that was like chariots and
wooden wheels.
And the leader, the guy to beat was Ben-Hur every weekend.
Ben, yeah, and but yeah, they were there. Found out that one of the drivers there, I'm a big Ipswich football fan. Over there, I got some British guys on there. One of the guys, his parents go to the pub I used to play at all the time.
Wow,
and lived in the same or visit the same village I lived in. And we lived in the same town. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Old times there. And then
that's with the round ball, right?
Real football. Not that cheesy American pad stuff.
Okay.
The Bears. Like that, And then Hakuna Miata finished 10th. And then we go into Sunday. It's even hotter. Day starts out pretty overcast. And the previous day, Premium Dudes led some of it, and then they didn't.
Right.
About a rear diff. Their rear end was making noises and weird stuff. I remember them coming out on track and just this click, 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 when they were putting their car into their paddock spot. I'm like, that's probably not the way they want that thing to sound. So, and it didn't last long. So they were out. So they went, they're not far from there. So Nate's wife brought out a new rear end for him and put that thing in overnight, and they went out racing. And guess what? They won the race. Premium Dudes wins with their Ferrari red 88 BMW 325 IS. And there's Nosy and Mazda almost again, second place. FTD for the day at a 137, 136, and JSK behind them in their Nissan Altima. And Daring Greatly, Cadillac finishing 4th. Track Car Rentals, 1995 BMW 25 finishing 5th. Two Brothers Racing just couldn't do it. They finishing back in 6th place. TR Motorsports back in 7th. Parts Badger in 8th. TBD Racing in 9th. And Hurry Up and Trade Racing's Dodge Neon ACR down in 10th place. That's kind of cool to see a neon. Remember those things? Neons were everywhere.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And the ACRs were everywhere. They had their own series, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They did. So, there's got to be something to be said for a guy whose wife will bring him a new rear end.
I know. He's blessed.
Usually the wife's tearing a new rear end, but never mind.
Yeah, that's all right.
If I just said yes, honey, more often, it would all be better.
Yeah. I like to say hi to a long-time listener, first-time caller. Is that the way it goes?
Yes.
Little Mikey Chiswick, watching from North Carolina.
Oh, is he in our chat?
No, he's probably sitting in his house. He's watching TV, playing on the phone. I sent him the link.
Now I know he was the CEO, and then he wasn't.
Yeah, he left.
Has he been on the show?
No.
Well, that's going to have to change.
Yeah, he said he will in
at
a while.
some point. Yeah, let me give him a chance to catch up.
Gotta bring him up, because he's gonna answer questions from 2019. That's his reference point. So.
Okay. So no, but I look forward to to having him on the show and all of that. So
busy man. He gave me a list of things this morning.
Oh,
do and
a honeydew list.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow,
and it's a pretty long list. So it's got 9 things on it.
Well, that's good because you run out of fingers after a few of those. He knows not to give you more than 9 things.
Can't concentrate.
Exactly.
Yeah. So he's got us working.
Sure.
And, I don't know if I like that, but it's fun. So Ray and I got in yesterday. We left Autobahn Sunday night after the race. Got a hotel somewhere. I don't know where. Somewhere
Hmm.
in Illinois or one of those ice states. And we got home yesterday evening or afternoon. And today I headed down to Flagtronics. We did some huge updates to our system. You know, we're always telling people they need to
Right.
update their stuff. Yeah. But we did some big updates to our system, getting ready for the future. And that's going to be pretty cool. Got some good, cool stuff coming down online. Not necessarily quick, but it's going to be coming.
Nice.
You know, I know a lot of people keep asking us for driver tags, doing what WRL does. Of course, Mike, that's one of the first things he sent me. When are we going to do this? So it's on his list. He wants to do that as well. It's a pretty cool feature of being able to see who's in the car with Flagtronics. So,
so is this like a little chip that you swap out with the driver? Is that how their driver tag is going to work?
You swallow it, put it in your ear. I don't know how it works, man.
It's an enema.
Yeah, you know, stuff it up your nose. Isn't that how they did it in that Mars movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Somewhere like that. Helmet tag. You don't swap it out. It stays with you because not everybody wants to. You know, that's Bill Strong in the car. No, but he's fast.
Yeah.
So keep Bill Strong. So.
Yeah, at one point in time, and I don't remember which series it was, there was actually like a little. It was almost like a fuse. Mm-hmm. Like you would pop the fuse out and you put the new fuse in, and that's how the machine knew which driver was in. And then, yeah,
I kind of remember that now.
Yeah, it was like a fuse or like a USB stick, but it wasn't a USB stick. But it was that kind of thing. You'd literally pull it out, and the next driver would pop it in, and I think they kept it right at the driver, like at the right at the driver's door. So when the door popped open, even a crew member could make the switch.
Right.
You know. So.
Yeah, I think that was IMSA. I think.
Yeah, I think it was too. But
yeah, so it's something like that. We're gonna do it. It's just a matter. It's still being tested with WRL. Once WRL works out all the issues, because we worked out all the issues and all the other stuff. Let's let them work out these issues. Once they get that done, and then we'll start doing something like that. But there is an added cost to it.
Sure.
And we don't want to force this down people's throats. So, Tim says that's old school. That Brian, as you're dating yourself there.
Well, no one else will date me, Tim. So if I got to date myself. I'm going to be up in Tim's neck of the woods this weekend. But anyway, that's a different story.
So that was pretty cool. It was that we're going to be moving to some of the stuff.
Cool.
What I found pretty cool is a lot of people are actually updating their Flagtronics FT200s themselves now. And first thing I'm doing now when I get to the track is I'll set up Flagtronics up in the tower. After we've already got the track set up Thursday night, sometimes Friday morning. So first thing I do is go up to the tower and set up my stuff. I've got it down to 3 cases now.
Wow.
Yeah. Yay. And then that's even with the new stuff I started up this weekend.
Cool.
So we got the set up Flagtronics. I turn it on. We make sure everything's working. I send Jimmy around doing hot laps in whatever vehicle he has at that moment. And we make sure everything works. And then we start looking to see the cars. I turn on a little switch. We can see all the cars that are showing up, and I can see what version they're running.
Okay.
So, it's like, wow, these guys are on top of it, man.
Nice.
I think I only had to do like 2 or 3 cars this event.
Very cool.
Out of 30 some odd cars. So that was really cool. So that's kind of what we were doing, and I'm glad because Daytona we had not a good time because I spent almost the whole day updating only half the vehicles out there. So you must have version 7 or higher on your cars.
Right.
We're 3 versions in this year. We're up to 7.1.13. I would prefer you have that, but you can have an older one. All you need to do is go to flagtronics.com. Look at the top of the page. You'll see the little navigation bar.
Right.
See downloads. Click that. And then you'll see device manager for the program to download. Download that to your Windows computer. It won't work on a Mac. Download that to your Windows computer. And then once you have it installed, open it up. Plug the USB cord into your laptop. It's best to use on a laptop, but you can use it on a desktop if you bring it into your house.
Sure.
Or a long extension cord, USB. Plug it into your laptop, and it'll tell you that you have a, what do you call it? A update.
Right.
And boom, just follow the instructions and done.
So what happens if someone's running an older version? Does it mess up your system? Does it not give them the information properly? What happens if you don't update?
Well, each year they change the encryption.
Got it.
So
Okay.
yeah, we can't send stuff to you. You can't send stuff to us.
That makes sense.
We
Okay.
see things, that we just added new features, which are needed. So yeah, that kind of stuff.
And they charge for all these updates, right?
God, another revenue stream. No, we don't charge any. No, it's all free.
That was sarcasm, by the way. I knew the answer to that question, but
no fees.
As a guy who always hears people complaining that other systems, we have to pay for this and pay for that, I know that there's no fee for Flagtronics, and that's one of the very cool features of Flagtronics. And thanks to the people there who put all that together.
Yeah, and the pit road timer, as John Whitnauer just said, won't work properly with that. Actually, it's newer than that. So speaking of pit road timers, this weekend was the first time we use it exclusively.
Yeah.
Now, I had a little panic moment because about halfway through the race is getting close. We still got cars racing close, and I didn't want to screw anybody up with their race. We had a couple of cars where their pit lane timer would just reset for some reason.
Huh.
Don't know why. We still don't know why. If your pit lane timer was resetting, can you open up your logs with the device manager, download those logs, and send them to me, please?
Okay.
Send them this weekend. Just send them media@champcar.org. Super easy to remember, or Bill Strong. My email's all over the darn website. Send those to me so that we can have Flagtronics take a look.
Sure.
And see why a couple of cars were just not working correctly. So I told pit staff, go straight to the timers, the egg timers, back to the egg timers, and that worked. Then I realized that it was only a couple of cars. So
I wonder if those cars were hardwired and they had a blip in their electrical system.
Maybe we thought it could have been batteries. Like
okay.
Some of these were older,
right?
So we thought they could have been batteries, but they ended up testing the batteries today. That was one of the things. I went down to Flagtronics. I tested their batteries, and everything worked absolutely perfect.
Sure.
So I swapped out harnesses with them, and just so they could go. And never had a problem with them for the rest of the day. I don't think. So I think what we think might be happening is but folks are leaving their cars unattended, for the couple of months that they're not racing.
Right.
Batteries go down on them, and the voltages are low.
Right.
So they come to the racetrack, they turn the car on, they're powering on and off, on and off, on and off.
Right.
And it's just not getting enough time to charge the battery.
Got it.
Or they're using 1 amp cigarette lighter adapters, and that's just not aligned. They have to be the 2 amp lighters.
Got it. Okay.
How do you go to 2 amp lighter? Well, you got to order the 2 amp ones. You can't just, the ones you pick up at the gasoline gas station, they're probably not 2 amp. So, they need to be they need to be able to force lots of power into that little tiny Flagtronics to charge them batteries and run it.
So, and the Flagtronics, the charger is, what is that, USB-C, USB-A, one of those type of connectors?
Yeah. Well, there's a USB-A on the end of it. You can also hard charge it or hardwire it to your car, but that's assuming that the guy's car is wired correctly and the alternator's outputting the right voltage.
So what you could do is, if you haven't run your car in a long time and you haven't run your Flagtronics in a long time, if you have one of those little power banks, before you leave for the racetrack, plug in the power bank, plug in your Flagtronics, and just let it sit in the car as you're in the trailer or going from home to the racetrack, and that'll give a good charge to the Flagtronics. So when you get there, even if you are hardwired, you're not relying on your car battery through that little 2 amp, doohickey to get you charged up.
Right. Oh,
initially. Bill's hunting for stuff.
I dig out my my Flagtronics unit. Yeah, they have a USB plug.
Yeah.
Like this, and what I'm going to do on my car, just this. This is the harness with it. This is the little battery you're trying to charge.
Right.
And I would just plug this into just a USB battery.
Yeah,
one
that's
of
what
these.
I was just saying. One of those little power banks.
Yeah, and you plug it in.
Yeah, plug it in the night before, or plug it in as you're traveling to the racetrack.
Yep, because it's charging right now. I've never used this in a race car yet because I haven't raced.
Yeah.
But there's the unit there, and you got your GPS unit, and you want to put that in a good spot. I've got one of these that I run because I take this with me. Oh, I have used this actually. I used it with what is their name? Bliss.
Right.
I put all this in there because they have multiple items, and we have a big 2-amp cigar lighter adapter that goes in there. And yeah, you got to do this right or it doesn't work. So
Right.
Of course it's not going to do anything now because it's not. I don't have the track director system set up. So.
And what do the units cost?
$250.
I think I want to pick one up so I can have it in the broadcast booth with me, so I can know when we go full course.
Yeah, I actually modified. We had some torn up, harnesses, so I ended up buying taking a harness and modifying it without the battery, and I just plug it straight into the computer. So I've got 3 of them that I use up in the tower. I give one to or John says his power bank in the race failed miserably. I guess it depends too what kind of power bank you use.
Sure.
Yeah, I have a couple up there. I give one to the race director. I give one to timing and scoring so they can see what's going on track. Because a light that flashes yellow suddenly lets them know, oh, shoot, I got to change something. Change the flag conditions on the timing and scoring.
Right.
And I'll put one in front of me too because I may be doing something and see something happen and it catches my eye and boom.
Right.
So,
now,
and
I was going to say, I wasn't suggesting that you use the power bank during the race. I was suggesting you use it to charge getting before the race, so you have a good charge on the battery. So I don't know how.
Just keep that battery charge up. So
right.
I don't know how long it takes. It shouldn't take all that long. So, but what's happening is I don't think they get enough charge, and then they sit there. They go into pit lane. They shut the power off in the car, and of course, with our rules, the power goes off on everything, and the unit just it shuts off.
Right.
I personally would run it straight to the battery, but that's just me personally. But
right.
I fuse it, but
sure. So
but yeah, there's some things I just wouldn't turn off.
Yeah, there's some options.
But yeah, it's stuff like that. It's probably wrong, and I'm probably gonna get in trouble for that. But yeah, that was a thing. Sunday, everything seemed to work right. I actually I can watch the battery charges on these FT200s
right
from my software. On everybody's car, so I'm watching that, and everybody's seems to be good. So I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it could have been the weather, it could have been the stars lined up wrong, or something.
Solar flares.
I have an app for that.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah,
in my business, it's important.
I know that's right. Radio. They hear me.
We lose the top of the hour newscasts because they come to us over satellite, which is no fun. So cool.
But yeah.
I understand we have a tech tip today. Are we ready for that yet? Oh no, you're being dispatched.
Something bad just came across. I'm a huge Giants fan, right?
I know exactly what you're looking at.
Who died?
Willie Mays.
Oh no.
Yeah. 93, but he lived to 93. A good long life.
I loved Willie Mays. I watched him play. My first baseball game I ever went to was San Diego versus the Giants in 1969. It was the first pro game. It was Little League night. And Willie hit, I want to say, his 600th home run.
Wow. How lucky is that?
It was awesome. Yeah, it was incredible. I still remember that to this day because, for one, we're sitting up in the nosebleed section of Little League. And then, he hits a home run. My mom's a huge Giants fan. She grew up in the Bay Area. So, it was just so exciting. And, that sucks. Yeah. I really like Willie. So Willie McCree and the whole bit.
So I was at Milwaukee County Stadium at one time, and my grandpa liked to get the mezzanine seats, which is right underneath the press box. And one day, because oh my God, who was the guy who did the Miller commercials?
Oh,
Bob Euchre.
Bob Euchre. He's funny.
Bob Euchre
Yeah.
and Willie Mays were good friends, and Willie Mays happened to be in town at the game, and I went to go buy a hot dog, and there was Willie Mays in line buying his own hot dog.
Yeah.
And I was maybe 15, 16 years old. I said, Mr. Mays, can I buy you your hot dog? You shake your hand and buy a hot dog. He goes, no, that's okay, but I'll shake your hand. Just a really, really nice guy. So,
man, I just, that's my generation of ball players that I grew up with. So this
Yep.
kind of hits hard. But
Absolutely.
yeah, I just saw it come across my phone.
Yeah,
So,
me too.
And the boss is listening, by the way.
Oh, that was the text that also came across.
Yeah.
Don't say anything bad.
We're
Hail to the new boss.
Yeah. So yeah, the Flagtronics work good.
Cool.
Sebring is going to I think work really well as well.
Awesome.
Like I said, we will have the Flagtronics. We're going to use the Flagtronics timing for pit lane. We will have timers, the egg timers down there, just in case when you come across the line, you've got an issue with it. Jimmy will see that, and who's ever working pit lane, and we'll throw a timer on it, and you'll go. One thing we did not plan for is what kind of penalties will happen if you just drive through the stop box,
right,
at pit in or pit out, or you just roll. I said California stop, and people looked at me funny.
We call it a Chicago stop.
Chicago stop, yeah. It's when you just roll through the stop sign.
Exactly.
You look, but you roll through. You're not allowed to do that. So talk to the boss. The boss said 1 minute penalty for rolling, and 5 minute penalty if you just blast through it.
Okay.
So you got to stop.
So are you supposed to stop so that the pit out person can look at your Flagtronics and see the timer? Is that how it's supposed to work?
Just to verify that you've done your 5 minutes,
cool.
The whole bit. Cool. And that comes back to the point of how to mount it.
Sure.
You need to have it in an area so the pit out, so they can see it from the window.
Right.
So we want the driver to see it. To me, that's the most important part.
Sure.
That's why we have the safety system in there.
Sure.
But secondary, hey, we're using it as a scoring tool, which is make sure you've done your 5 minute pit stop accordingly. And that remember the 5 minute pit stop is only if you pop the gas cap.
Right.
That gas cap comes off, it's automatic 5 minutes.
Got it.
If you just put a driver in or you just change a tire, it's not 5 minutes. You can just go. Do it as fast as you can and get the heck out of Dodge. Get back onto that track safely.
So our next request of Flagtronics is going to be a little red and green light on the roof of the car that says it turns green when you've got to your 5 minute point.
So my question today to them was, can you give us a little timer on the side of the car?
Yeah.
That tells us, how long your pit stop is, because IMSA or WEC does. They have the position of the car, and then how long they're in pit lane. Because I believe they have a 5 minute pit stop as well. The WEC.
Sure.
Yeah, or one of them. One of those saloon cars. The one that just did Nürburgring.
Right.
Is that WEC?
WEC.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I believe they have a pit time as well.
And Mr. Ballinger's response is, I could do anything if you've got the money.
He wasn't there today.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
We can do anything if you've got the money.
Everybody else said, please stop giving us work. I'm kidding. Yeah, they did one thing that I did ask for, a couple of things, and that would help us in the tower, and they're going to get right on that. So with the pit stops, just in case it does reset on pit lane.
Sure.
They're going to fix that for us. I don't know how soon, but they're pretty darn quick with our requests. So love the guys at Flagtronics. Spent a lot of time with them. Spent a lot of time there today. So we did some like I said, we did some major updates on our systems, the hardware. We did a full recondition on them too. We had one unit that it was working correctly, but wasn't working correctly.
Yeah.
Working correctly for the track side, but when we tried to do our own stuff to it, it wouldn't work. So
was my guy Alaric there?
Alaric was there. He's the one that did all the work on it. So
nice.
Kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and so the pit lane, the timing, we have a stop box. I wrote, due to this race this weekend, I wrote a new procedure for our staff, how to set up pit lane, how to test it before the race, and how to do it during the race. Mike likes manuals, so we did it for him the other day, and had some of our staff proof it today and make some small changes to it. And then Alaric even added some things to it that he saw I missed, and it's like, okay, great. So we have a whole team of people working on making ChampCar pit stops better. So it's kind of cool.
Awesome.
And then the timer info is, so if the timer info is available in CAN and someone has something like race capture, they might be able to use a Lua script to activate a light circuit if I stop braking my car.
I love the honesty with the final comment.
Yeah, well, that's Federer, so they're
That's
you know
right.
the Arizona team, so they do pretty well when they don't break. But,
Yeah.
yeah. So that worked well. You know, we did not have any pit lane speeding this weekend.
Wow.
That was pretty awesome. Everybody stuck to their 20 miles an hour. I did see like 21, 22 miles an hour, so just occasionally. But yeah, they were pretty darn good. Code 35, I was amazed. I had one team, but I wasn't quite certain if it came after the yellow. I'm pretty certain it came after the yellow. You know, when it went from yellow to purple, so they were
Sure.
still slowing down from a high-speed stretch. But that was it. Code 35 is good. We had a
Nice.
couple. I think we had a couple of passing under yellows, but that was about it. Nothing bad, but yeah, good weekend. There was something else. It popped into my head. I remembered what it was. I'll remember it probably after we quit here. The Code 35. Hopefully, we didn't use it too much this weekend, but you know you have to. And the track absolutely loves it because they're able to send people quick. They're able to get the track cleaned up fast, and you know us back to racing. And that's really important. Get you guys your money's worth when it comes to racing.
Absolutely.
So Code 35 works really, really well.
Cool.
So we did have one, a couple of return to red flags. The lunch red flags were also awesome because nothing is better than watching 7 cars go, 7 wide on a 40-foot wide track into turn 1. It's always great. So
awesome.
we are enforcing now for those of you folks that aren't racing with us regularly. Chelsea started up something and Mike Chiswick said to continue it because it's working. The feedback has been awesome. 4 off and your team is getting a warning. We're not going to black flag you, whatever, but it is a black flag warning for your team. So we will go down to your team. We will talk to them and we will say, hey, that's your one warning. Stay on the track. Keep that car under control. It's now up to the team to let the driver know that. Second warning, your second 4 off in your stint, and you're going to come in and you're going to talk to Jimmy for a second. We're going to do a drive-through penalty. That's, half a track, that you're going to be not racing. Half a track length.
So is it a drive-through or is it a stop and go?
It's a stop and go.
Okay.
So it's a stop. Jimmy will let you know why you got black flag, and then you're going to go, and you're going to control your car. You keep it on track. Racing surface is a track surface.
Yep.
Same thing with spins. If you spin on the track surface and not tearing up their grass, we had a couple of those. Just don't do it again. That doesn't count towards your warnings. Keep it on track. But and the third warning, you're getting out of the car during that stint. So you've got to replace your driver. Now, the fourth warning, you're done for the day.
The team or the driver?
Your driver's done for the day.
Okay.
You can come back on Sunday and try it again after a refresh, maybe being talking to some driver coaches or whatever, but you're done for the day. So
how do you keep track of if you're on a 4th spin, which drivers did 4 spins?
We know when the cars come in. Yeah,
right.
We keep tabs. Our timing and scoring keeps tabs on that.
Got it.
I will ask them that when I'm doing the log. I said, hey, this is their second spin, but the other one was an hour and a half ago. Have they changed drivers since then? And she'll go back and she'll say, Kelly would look at it and say, nope, they came in here and they changed drivers. And so, yeah, we keep tabs on that. And we'll even ask a team.
Sure.
Is that guy new? And we've had them, and most guys fess up to it. So, and I think most teams don't want that kind of attention on their car. So they'll do whatever it takes to.
Well, and most teams would not like that wear and tear on the car either. Flat spotting tires and all of the other accoutrements that go with that.
Yeah. And if you're sitting there arguing with Jimmy's just going to keep you there. So just say, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do it again. Thank you.
Keep arguing. All right, we can talk. We can argue as long as you'd like to.
Yeah. So did I talk about the radio thing?
We didn't talk about that, and there was one other mechanical thing with the car that we need to talk about as well. That's going to be the tech tip.
Yeah, that'll be the tech tip. So we talked about, I think last week, and then last week, and then we
Yep.
also talked on the internet about setting up a two-way radio in the tower for the tower people to talk to the teams. They would listen in on scanners and stuff like that. It was such a high-tech thing. I knew it would work, and guess what? It didn't work. Did not work. Our digital radios, I could not get it to work. There's probably some pretty smart people out there that could get it to work, but I found a better way, Brian. You know what I did? I hooked up a microphone to my computer and ran everything through the marching ants.
Great.
So I have done it where I put the video of an in-car camera on the marching ants just to give folks a view, something to look at other than a bunch of little circles going around a track. An in-car camera. So I mean that's always something I do. Sometimes I put the sound on if I can get the freaking mixer to work right. As you guys know, I'm great with sound mixers, mixing boards. But I ended up putting a microphone up there, and it's like, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just announce what's happening. You know?
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's welcome to the race. It's 67 degrees outside, a little cloudy. Basically, what I type into the log, the guys with with the marching ants on pit lane can listen to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I found out there was quite a few guys on pit lane listening to, watching the marching ants, and they had the sound on, and so they were able to get information that I fed them. A lot of people said that was actually pretty good. I got really good feedback from it at the track, and and actually in emails and some text today. There were some questions about, hey, can you repeat it twice? Because I guess the first time you say it, they're not really listening; they're doing something. And so it's like, okay. And I remember you watched Le Mans, right?
Right.
The movie, with Steve McQueen.
Oh yeah.
And they bing bong, and attention to the paddock, attention to the paddock. Car 67, you're too darn slow.
Yes.
That kind of stuff.
So, but anybody who's watching the marching ants can rewind, right? Isn't it just a live YouTube?
Yeah.
Can't they go back?
They could, but
sure.
But I thought the bing bong.
Yeah. We use that.
I made a
I do.
3-tone bing bong. Bing bong bong. I just made it on some app. Of course, the Flagtronics guys are like, that's stupid. It doesn't sound right. It's not good music. No, it was our staff said that. And I'm like, nope, I'm using it. I made it. I own the copyright. ChampCar owns the copyright. It's good. If we need to do something later, we will. But we're going to try it at Sebring, see if it works. I'll wait. I'll do the bing, bing, bong, the bing, bong door ditch thing, and I'll say something. I don't know. Attention to the paddock, attention to the paddock. But give them updates that way, and they can listen to it and look at the log. We're going to have we got to print out some QR codes. I'm going to make our staff on pit lane have these QR codes hanging around their neck so they can go up to you and they can QR code the link to the logs, and everybody can watch the logs that way. Find the link really easy. Or you can just go to our homepage at champcar.org and scroll down a little bit, and you see the race log that'll take you there. So I'm just trying to get information out to the teams. Because I remember as a race car owner, principal, don't know what you call it, crew chief, whatever I was, I wanted as much information as I could get. And I know teams now have, data collectors. They got all these ECUs with all the bits and bobs. They got steering wheels with TV screens on them, all that kind of stuff. And that's always good. But, I want to know what's going on the race. What's happening? Did a car just spin out? It turned 7 and is sitting by himself. Driver's left. Well, hey, I'm looking at Flagtronics. I see that car. I zoom in on it. I see that car sitting off driver's left, just sitting there. And I can say, hey, bing, bong, bing, bong.
Mm-hmm.
Paddock, attention pit lane. I don't know what I'm going to say. Attention, car 70, or we have a car sitting at turn 7, driver's left. Please stay driver's right. Done.
Yeah.
Maybe say it twice. I don't know. We'll see. It's that's Tim's number.
A work in progress.
Yeah. So it's, it is what it is. And, a couple of people said I gave too much information, but part of that was for the, there was a lot of people at home watching it too.
Sure.
So it's just to give them a little more feel of
Right.
what's going on the racetrack. And I mean, just giving them information about what's going on, because they could be at the racetrack and get that information too.
That's
So,
true. That's true.
but it's all about entertaining, getting people come out to the track and get excited about racing and the whole bit. So yeah, so gonna do that. I'll even try to do an in-car, maybe even superimpose Paulie's show onto it as well.
Ooh.
But we'll see, because I know a lot of people run marching ants on one screen and Paulie's show on another. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure something out. What else? What else we got going on, buddy?
I don't know.
Yeah, tech tip.
Oh, here we go. Stand by. Before we tech tip, hit the like button and subscribe, people. Need more likes. Okay.
Please. Yeah, that's really important for us now, since we're getting so popular on the internet.
17 of you haven't hit the like button.
At least.
No,
It's been 85 views.
Yeah. So.
All right. So tech has discovered a few things. If they walk up to some of these cars, this past weekend we found a few, and they would grab the window net and pull, and the whole thing came off in their hands. Yeah.
Oops.
So they're going to be testing window nets. I suggest you go up to your window net and give it a good yank. If it stays where it's supposed to stay, you're probably good.
That's right.
So
it's only for your safety, people.
Yes. Yep. It's only for your safety. Also keeps Jimmy out of the car when you're yelling at him.
Now, come on.
No. But yeah, that's gonna be their focus. I probably gave it away. I'm giving you guys a hint. Make sure those window nuts are securely attached to the car, not the door. This isn't 1979 or 1985. Remember when they used to attach the window nets to the door?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was at a dirt track one night and had all the window nets just screwed to the door. Actually, they were old seatbelts mishmashed through and screwed to the door. And I'm like, I look at the guy and I go, so, what do you do if your door falls off? And he looked at me like, why the hell would my door fall off? Seriously. He was like perplexed about that. But,
I have an idea, but that's for something else.
Huh?
I'm not going to say it until I talk to you about it, because I don't want to get you committed into that.
Did your door fall off?
No. I have a completely unrelated idea that just smashed into my head. So
keep those out. So yeah, so that's going to be their thing. Also, we did have a couple of accidents, and you need to look in your car with a driver, your tallest driver, your shortest drivers, your medium drivers, every driver you have. What are they going to hit in that car with their body if they lose control of that car, they get into a big accident, they go into the tire wall, they go into the wall. I mean, they go into another car. What is going to happen to their body? Where is it going to go? A lot of these, these big, strong guys, well, any guy, any person thinks that your body, that's a lot of G-forces when you hit things. And your body does really stupid, crazy things. So one of the things is make sure your roll bar padding is in the correct spot. Make sure it's glued down, it's zip tied in place, and it's not going to move around. It's not going to rotate. Mine rotates on the bar. So it's been up there for so long. It rotates. And when you're getting guys in and out of the car, that padding that was there when you went through tech is now probably up padding the roof and not where it needs to be. So you need to make certain that all your roll bar padding is where it needs to be, to where if your helmet hits it, it's going to, help cushion the blow or slow the blow down than hitting that bar. Because I'll tell you what, I've hit a bar and cracked my helmet and got a concussion. And worst of all, my brain started bleeding. So
that explains a lot.
Yes.
I can pick on you now about it.
That's all right. My ADD went away for a couple of weeks, which is really good. Yeah.
Never mind.
For a couple of weeks.
And if you're using legit roll bar padding and not pipe insulation, which you really shouldn't be using, but if you're using legit roll bar padding, it's not the diameter on the inside is not the same all the way around. There is a portion of the padding that is thicker than right where the slit is. And
Right.
so the idea is that the slit should be away from wherever you could hit it. And if it rotates, then all bets are off. You might hit where the slit is on the padding, which is almost no padding at all, and then basically it's useless. So you not only have to zip tie it on, you need to put something tacky on the inside so that it doesn't roll on your roll bar, and you have the opportunity that eliminates the chance of you hitting the wrong piece of the roll bar padding.
And 3M. Do I have it?
I have it, but I can't get to it without moving everything around.
Yeah, 3M has a really cool tape, which I ordered this tape to do Flagtronics stuff, but the problem is that it doesn't come with, it doesn't have a backing on one side, but it's that 3M VHB or whatever, and I'm thinking, what can we use this for? And I would put that on the inside of the roll cage because it does work pretty well to keep everything in place.
Right. The only problem with that tape is you have to have some sort of magic method to get the backing tape off, because it is brutal to get that backing tape off. An X-Acto knife works well for that, by the way.
But something like that, because a lot of the roll bar padding comes with some sort of tape, but it's kind of cheesy. It's like painted on. Yeah, it's not as good as that stuff.
Yep.
So I do that and zip tie it and the whole
Exactly.
thing. So, and use proper zip ties. When I say proper zip ties, they have the little metal tab in it, and they're made from nylon, I think, not plastic. So I would use something like, they're aerospace type zip ties, not the ones you buy at the local aerospace store called Harbor Freight. Now, you get them from good places. They're kind of pricey, but there's some things I use good quality nylon aerospace zip ties for. Engine stuff, things are going to vibrate like crazy, but just the everyday crap, you just use the plastic.
Yep.
All right, so in the old, and Tim's right, the old pool foam, I like to call, melts and turns into that's why we don't allow it, turns into like a napalm and will burn onto your suit, burn through your suit, and then burn through your skin. And that's not always a good thing. So, all right. I'll let you know, we did a pump out on the Nozia's Mazda because we didn't have to do a pump out because they did it themselves. So we did a pump back in, and we found that car to be 100% legal with fuel of 14.6 gallons, I think Ray said. It might have been, yep. But yeah, all legal on that guy. Hard hits, padding, where does your body go? Your arms will flail and everything. But I would rather break a wrist than break my head, because I've been on both of them. All right, pit lane requests. So I know that we've done it in the past where it's just $250 to sign up for a race. Good thing. But then we got guys waiting till a day before the race to pay in full for the race. So, yeah, we're not going to do that anymore. If you want, you're welcome to do that. But if you want to get your pit lane request and get it, you got to be paid in full. And we'll be sending out those emails 2 weeks before the event. Everybody that is paid in full will get, we will try to get them their pit area that they want, their teams and stuff, but all others, you just get thrown in the pot, and you could be sitting next to me, where I'm wanting to borrow every tool you got.
And you don't want that.
Nope. I eat a lot of beans the night before the race. So.
That's in lieu of nitrous.
Yes.
That's Bill Strong nitrous.
Yeah. So that's going to be going on. We'll start putting that into the supplementals. I've already posted up on the forum.
Into the what?
Supplementals.
What are those?
Those are the little rules that you download that for each event might have slightly different what do you call it? Rules at each track.
It's like the home rules of a baseball park.
Yeah.
Every park's got a little different stuff.
Yep. So that's really important. All right. So let's get to coming up. What's the next race? Sebring.
Through the
12
night.
hour. Except we're not calling it 12 hour because that's always taken.
Yes.
We're doing a different 12 hours. We're doing 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. because it's 100 million degrees in South Florida during the day in June 29th and 30th.
You really should do overnight. You should really do the Sebring 11.9 hours.
0.9999?
Yeah. No, just 11.9.
No, because we'll have it we think it's just right. Some real smart guy will come up with I could have won this race. One more lap. Yeah. So we kind of did that before. We did the 24. Was it 25
It's
hours?
54 minutes. It's a round number.
Yeah. You say that, and then we
No,
miss
it is. I did the math. The
okay.
calculator doesn't lie. I didn't do the math in my head. I'm not that smart.
You would have had to plan this a year out. But yes, good idea. Good idea. And Mike loves stuff like that, so you should email him.
I will.
Yeah.
I will.
elbasso@champcar.org. I'm kidding. That's not his email. That goes nowhere.
Hold on a second. I'm going to try it. I'll let you know if it bounces, people.
Oh, it'll come right to me because I get everything else. So, but yeah, michael.chizik@champcar.org. So yeah, so he's actually putting together the race schedule for 2025 now, and I heard there were some French names on there. I don't know what that means. Kidding.
Eau Rouge.
Yeah. No. So 60 cars signed up for Sebring right now. We had a couple cancel out, but 60 cars signed up for Sebring 12 hour, 6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
Nice.
Please review the schedule because there's a lot of weird times on there. And then we head off. Once that's done and we get to go home and rest a little bit, we head over July 13th and 14th to Nelson Ledges, 7 + 7 hour enduro. What does that mean, Brian? 7 + 7 hours.
It means that the first day is 7 hours, and then the second day is 7 hours, and there's 2 separate trophies because it's 2 separate races. Is there? Yep, and there's no Parc Fermé in the middle?
Nope.
Or anything like that?
Races, so you have 2 days that you could kind of figure it out and win the race. And we've had guys do that. They sucked the Saturday race and they figured it out on Sunday and took home a win.
There you go.
37 cars signed up for that. We have room for, I believe, 40 some odd cars on pit lane. So please get signed up. We're running out of time on that. So I know that we have 2 more cars. I'm told this morning by Fred that we're going to have 2 more cars signed up, hopefully within the next day or 2. So that'll take us up to 39.
Nice.
So we're getting close to the cutoff on those guys. So, I mean, if we go over, we'll find room for you. Don't say nothing. Fred might be listening. So, yeah, you'll be sharing a pit. We're going to have 5 cars sharing a pit lane with Tim Elliott. He doesn't know it yet. He's just got a little Golf, so it's not like it takes up a lot of room, right?
Isn't it a Rabbit?
A Rabbit. Sorry, even smaller.
It's like, or is it a Golf? No, it's a Rabbit. Tim, it's a rabbit, right? Isn't Turtle a rabbit? Which makes really odd sense to me. I'm
going to be updating the subs tomorrow. I made some major mistakes on those subs. I'm really sorry, guys. I'll fix that tomorrow. Jackie's already yelling at me a couple of times over that. So we'll get those fixed tomorrow. They'll be updated. We're off Nelson Ledges and the VIR 24. Guess what today is? Today is the final day of the early pay cutoff. So you get $200 off on your race if you enter by midnight tonight. August 17th and 18th is race day. Currently, we have 57 cars signed up. We do have a limit, 100 cars at this track. So, and we're 60 days out, and we're already at 57. So,
nice.
I would look at getting on that if you're gonna do the Lifeline 24-hour Classic. It may be the last one we have at VIR. Not 100% on that one, but I'm pretty certain. So, get there. This will be it. Compare yourself. The best team ever at VIR 24 is Huggins Racing or Pinky's Out. They've won it 100 times over the 10 years. 12 years we've been doing it.
100 times.
So, I'm not good with math. You do that math, Brian.
Hold on, let me pull out the calculator again. I don't think that one's possible.
No. And then we're off to Thompson Speedway. That's up in Connecticut. It's a 12-hour, August 24th. NBM Performance Thompson 12-hour, and that's always a fun track. It uses it's one of the oldest tracks in the country. It's got a circle track there, one of the first tracks built in the country to race, I think. Or they say it's like the oldest speedway. I don't know. But I use part of the oval track, and they have a proper road course all around it. And it's pretty neat, man. Got some great sun setting pictures there the last couple of years.
Nice.
As the sun sets under the bridge that you drive under. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then we head to Mid-Ohio. I keep seeing entries for Mid-Ohio. That's always good to go. 22 cars signed up. There is a limit. Mid-Ohio will only allow so many cars on track with us. So the Money Shift Racing Mid-Ohio 8 + 7 hour. That means 8 hours on Saturday, 7 hours on Sunday, September 7th and 8th. And those also have early cutoff dates, so you can save $200 making that making those full payments a little earlier than normal than you would showing up to the track. Save some money. Go to champcar.org, click the schedule, and all the dates will be on there.
Cool.
What else is there? One more thing. Did I say the pit request? Yes, I did. I talked about that. So any of those, make sure you're paid in full to get the full $200 off your entry, and also get your pit lane requests that you request. You know, I want to park next to Brian Bielanski because
everyone wants to park next to me because I make the best. Well, we have good food.
Yep. So, gonna be fun. You know, like I said, we're bringing all kinds of changes into ChampCar, either electronically. We're trying to make things a little better with registration. We've got Andrea doing all of our customer service stuff now, so she's helping take the load off Chelsea and I and Mike, and she's doing a great job doing that and sending out emails to let people know, hey, you owe us some money. Hey, you need to register your drivers. Hey, you need to. Everybody needs to sign the waivers, the online waivers we have. Oh, and guess what? I started selling these. These are the helmet decals. They were $1 at the race. Mr. Chiswick said those need to come back. So for 2025, I'm going to have the proper ones. I messed up the art. I noticed that when somebody went to put it on there, or when I went to put it on my helmet, it's like the date was incorrectly on there. So I'll probably fix those. So.
Is that someone's check that your helmet is up to date, so you get a sticker?
Well, that's the way we used to do it. Now we trust the drivers to address that, and we can still do spot checks. But a lot of guys want it on their helmet just to show, hey, I've been a member of ChampCar for this time. And they stack them up along their helmet, and when they have like 15 or so on their helmet, we know their helmet's out of date.
That's true. Good point. Good point. Yeah.
So we do.
You guys should do like winner stickers.
Oh, we do.
Oh, you do.
Only a winner gets them. I'd show you what they look like, but I only want to race before we got the winner stickers.
So is it do class winners get them or only overall winners?
Because ChampCar's about overall.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, very cool.
So have those. But yeah.
How do I get one of those?
Win a race.
Oh, I actually it's not just like I say I'm a winner and I get one. You actually have to win it.
So we have 2 winner stickers. We have one for the overall.
Uh-huh.
We have one for the national champion.
Okay. Okay, cool.
The champion's gold and really special, and only special people get those. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have loser stickers? Because I'd have a ton of those.
Yeah, really big ones that go on the side of the car.
Say ChampCar. Yeah.
Have a number in it.
Yeah, I love it. So, cool.
There you go. Yeah, it's we got a lot coming up. A lot of races coming up rest of the year. ChampCar's doing well, man. I like it.
Love it. Very exciting.
Getting race numbers, the races, despite what the internet tells us. So that's always good.
I've been looking. The numbers have been strong.
Yeah. So, do you have any questions, Brian, about anything with the company? Anything going on?
No, I just
would like to hear.
I'm starting to get antsy to get back into a race car. So,
speaking of which, staff had a go-kart race.
Oh,
at Autobahn's go-kart,
and
they want those little tiny go-karts. I mean, these are fast cars, 55-mile cars, and I did not lose.
You won.
No, Ray won. Ray won the first one.
Okay.
I took second.
Okay.
And then Steve third. Kelly, I think, was fourth.
Wait a second. You said you didn't lose, though.
I didn't lose. Oh, yeah, I did. I was first loser.
Second place is the first loser.
Yes. And then the next race, we did 2 10-minute races.
Uh-huh.
Steve, I think Steve won that one.
Okay.
So it could have been Ray. Ray will let us know.
I'm sure he will.
Won it. And then either Ray or Steve were second. And then Kelly was third, and I might have been fifth.
All right.
Fourth or I don't know. But yeah, I was focused on the racing that time and less of the time part of it. And Oh my God, I had so much fun. So much fun. I think we might do it again at VIR because they
Nice.
have a really cool track, a go-kart track. So, yeah, I can't wait. I got into the car and it was like, this is fun. You know, yeah, yeah. Got to wear my own helmet. Everybody made fun of me. I brought out my gloves because,
Yeah,
you're racing.
you're racing.
Of course, they all had blisters afterwards. And I didn't. So,
Yeah.
it was fun.
Cool.
All right, Brian, I think that's it for the for the show tonight. Like I said, if you guys have any questions about upcoming races, you can email me. I'll be sitting at my desk. Well, tomorrow morning, I think my wife has a bunch of jobs that she wants me to do. I've been gone for so long. She's been trying to paint this dresser drawer right over there in the corner. So I have to help her get it outside so she can finish painting it. So, but pop me an email, bill.strong@champcar.org. And you can find our email on the Contact Us website or on ChampCar's website. And ask us anything. To everybody that raced at Autobahn this past weekend, I am going to be sending you a questionnaire, just asking you how your weekend went. Any issues with our staff, with the way we did stuff. Let us know, please. I mean, we're trying to make things, better if they're bad. We think everything's great, but the last survey I went out got absolutely awesome responses back, over 101 responses. So, and we actually made some changes right then and there. I even emailed some folks that had some issues and we sorted them out. And, but it's purely confidential. I do see names. Again, if I see something that we need to fix, I'm going to fix it. We're going to try to fix it.
Sure.
So, and of course, I can't do anything about VPI. I can't do anything about tires. But if you want to voice your opinion, do it. And this is a good place to do it. And that's for all the registered drivers of the race and the crew. Everybody that was signed up for it, please respond back to that. Myself, Chelsea, and Mike are going to look at those, and like I said, we'll try to fix things. We'll try to make it better. And if we're you're saying our people are doing great, we're going to pass that on to them because they love that too. So, all right, guys,
it's as important to compliment as it is to criticize. So when you have a compliment, share it. And then when you have a criticism, it's always nice to pair it with a compliment because then we know everyone's not just being a jerk. No, just kidding.
No. I mean, it's, people have their opinion. It's all right.
Sure.
It's good. And like I said, we had we did notice we had an issue with something and we were able to get it fixed pretty quickly. And it's like, oh, I wish somebody else had told me about that. But, it is what it is.
And chances are, if you've got an issue, you're not the first person that's had that issue. So share it. I've been involved with a lot of organizations, and the mark of a really good organization is one that wants to hear the good and the bad.
Yeah.
So,
Awesome. And you tell everybody that here at the end of the show, Brian.
I didn't say whether this was a good or a bad organization. I just said I've been involved with both good and bad organizations. No.
So next week we'll have a visitor on. I don't know who yet. Maybe I'll get Mike. I don't know. We'll have somebody on, but I didn't have time to really find anybody because I've been really, really busy.
I hear you.
Mike gave me a checklist.
That's good. All right, are we done?
We are done, buddy.
All right, that's going to do it for another episode of Inside ChampCar. If you like what you hear, subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any episodes. Also, it'd be great if you share it on your social media channels. Comment on the Facebook page for ChampCar, especially if it's a good one. New episodes every week here on ChampCar Live on the YouTube and on the Racing Network on the podcast. He's Bill Strong. I'm Brian Bielanski. You are listening to the Racing Wire Podcast Network and watching ChampCar Live. Have yourself a great weekend. Go stay safe and go play with cars.